Welcome to this beginner's webinar about essential oils. I am so excited that you came and joined me today. We are going to have some fun. I love essential oils. I've been getting serious about them for about the past, let's try that again. Welcome to the beginner's webinar. Welcome to the beginner's webinar on using essential oils. I am so happy that you joined me today. I love essential oils. I've been using them for about the past 2 years, and they have transformed my life, my family's life, my friends' life. They are truly awesome. And I have to be honest, I never really thought I'd be a person who would use essential oils because I am a former junk food junkie. I used to not be able to get past 10 a.m. without binging on either sugar, chocolate, candy, some kind of junk food. And by God's grace, about 16 years ago, I got clean with the food. And then it was kind of a ripple effect, and I started cleaning up my cleaning products. No pun intended. I started cleaning up my beauty products. And really, essential oils is just kind of another step in this evolution. And what I really love about it, I can actually use these oils for beauty products, for cleaning, and I'm actually saving money. So that's such a great thing. Essential oils really can support every system within our body. And I believe that if we give our bodies what it needs to heal, I'm going to start again, Fernando, bear with me. Welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Essential Oils. I am so happy that you're here with me today. I love essential oils. We're going to talk a lot about these little guys over the next hour or so. And let me just tell you, I never really thought I would be someone that used essential oils. I am a former junk food junkie, okay? I could not get past 10 a.m. without binging on some kind of junk food, preferably sugar. And by God's grace, I stopped eating all that junk. That was about 16 years ago. I lost 60 pounds and I've been maintaining that. And really, food was where I cleaned up my life first. But then I started looking at cleaning products and then beauty supplies, and it just kind of rippled out. And really, essential oils kind of falls into this whole evolution for me. I've been using them for about 2 years, and they have really transformed my life, my family's life, my friends' life. We just love them. And that's because essential oils are a natural aid. They can help support every system within our bodies. And I really believe that if we give our body what it needs, it can heal itself. So how about you? Maybe you're here today because you're brand spanking new to essential oils. You've heard your family talk about them, maybe friends, and you're just curious. Or maybe you've ordered a starter kit somewhere and you want to know how to actually use these things. That's where I was for a little while. Or maybe you're a seasoned oiler and you're just around for the ride and just want to learn some more things. So I'm so glad you are here and can be part of this webinar. Now, before I begin, I do need to put out a little disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. I do not play one on TV. I cannot diagnose, cure, treat, prescribe anything, and trust me, you do not want me to. I am just going to be sharing what I have learned based on research, based on other experts in the field. So I hope you enjoy this presentation. And I wanted to just kind of briefly talk about what I'm going to cover today. So first, I'm going to give you a little chemistry lesson. I promise you it'll be short and sweet, but it's really fascinating how just this little oil can have so many wonderful therapeutic properties. I'm also going to share a little bit of history on essential oils because it's, some of us think this is like a new trend, but they're actually really an ancient tool that we've had. I'm also going to show you guys how to use essential oils. So there's 3 main ways. I'm going to unpack those all. And then I'm going to talk about what oils I recommend for a beginner because it can be overwhelming. There's so many different oils and so many different products out there. So I'm going to talk to you about the really multifaceted oils, the ones that you can use for a lot of different things. And then finally, be sure to stay tuned to the very end of the webinar because I'm going to be offering you, as a webinar viewer, a very special promotion. So you have the ability to earn 3 free bonuses. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So let's dive in, shall we? I'm going to have a little visual just to show you just some interesting things about plants, what I'm talking about, and all of that. So Okay. See if this is working here. For some reason, bear with me here, Fernando. I'm trying to get this to look good. For some reason, it's not showing.
Okay, thank you. All right, what's up?
Honey, for some reason, like it's showing the screen sharing, but it shows the whole sidebar. It doesn't show like the slide itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to choose the right window.
Okay.
To do the screen share, you got to choose the. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as you've got a window where Fernando knows
what slide it is.
Put there, because remember he puts a different whole screen image in the movie.
Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
it's easier for you to do one just as long as you can see a thumbnail.
Okay.
That knows what exactly you're talking about.
Okay. Gotcha, honey.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, Fernando, sorry about that little thing. I just was confused, but here we go. We're starting up on this slide. And let's talk about. So essential oils, so a lot of people want to know what exactly are essential oils. And they really are plants. And if you think about it, plants have been foundational for our planet. They've been intimately tied to our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being really since the beginning of time. And that's what essential oils are. They are plants. Now, to be more technical, they are the aromatic volatile liquids that are found within many shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, and seeds. Sometimes they're called the lifeblood of the plant. Now, as I mentioned, we think that this is a hot new trend, but actually essential oils are nothing new. In fact, they've been around for a very long time. They were really our oldest form of known medicine. Dating back to 4,500 BC. The Egyptians were the first people to extensively make use of aromatherapy and aromatic herbs and included their use in religion, cosmetics, as well as medicinal purposes. Distillation pots have been found dating back to 3,500 BC. Essential oil pots were found in King Tut's tomb. China and India used plants and extracts for medicinal purposes, and the Greek and Roman empires also used essential oils for aromatherapy and massage. Regular use of essential oils were popular during biblical times. In fact, 36 of the 39 books of the Old Testament and 10 of the 27 books of the New Testament, Fernando, I can't speak. In fact, 36 of the 39 books of the Old Testament and 10 of the 27 books of the New Testament mention essential oils or the plants that produce them. And there are over 14,000 references to essential oils in the National Library of Medicine. You can check it out yourself at pubmed.org. Now, through the centuries, pharmaceuticals have really replaced the role of essential oils. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, through the centuries, some pharmaceuticals have really replaced the use of plant oils, of herbal. Now, through the centuries, some pharmaceuticals have replaced herbs and essential oils. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not against Western medicine. In fact, my father got in a near fatal car accident in 2009, and he would not be alive today if it wasn't for Western med. So it's definitely needed in our society, and it could be a huge lifesaver. But when we're dealing with things on a day-to-day basis, I think our first inclination is to run to Walgreens, and grab something over the counter and use that, and there are consequences as a result. And that's why I love being able to incorporate a more natural alternative. Okay, Fernando, let's cut with there can be consequences and not say that thing about there is an alternative, okay? So let's just stop at consequences, and then we're going to pick back up here, okay? But it may surprise you that many pharmaceutical drugs actually have their origins in plants. So I'll give you a couple examples. Now we're going to go to the next slide here. Let's see. We're going to do a screen share so you can see, Fernando, which slide. So it's going to be this one. The antihistamine ephedrine originally came from a plant called ephedra. The antihistamine ephedrine originally came from a plant called ephedra. That's the antihistamine ephedrine. Let me start over, sorry. The antihistamine ephedrine originally came from a plant called ephedra, and that's been used in Chinese medicine for 5,000 years. And all opiates like morphine, codeine originally came from the poppy. Aspirin is also patterned after the bark of the white willow tree. So you can see that plants are very powerful substances. Now, the chemistry of an essential oil is very complex and may consist of hundreds of unique chemical compounds. Lavender, for example, has a range of 400 chemical constituents, which is why it has so many uses. In fact, there's a saying that if you have an issue, try lavender. Essential oils also have a unique ability to penetrate the cell wall. Essential oils are made up of very tiny molecules that have the ability in its chemical structure to penetrate the cell membrane. They are also highly concentrated and far more potent than a dried herb. And that's because the distillation process and the quantity of plant that goes into each drop of essential oil. So just to give you an idea, one drop of Young Living's peppermint oil is the equivalent. So just to give you an example, one drop of Young Living's peppermint essential oil is the equivalent to 26 cups of peppermint tea. So they're very concentrated and they're very powerful. Okay, now we're going to go back to screen share here. And we're going to show the next slide, which is this. And that's why they're so popular. Here's just an overview. And that's why essential oils are so popular. Here's just an overview of essential oil benefits when used regularly. They can aid maintaining normal cellular regeneration. They're supportive of the body's natural detoxification process. They can defend against unwanted guests in our bodies. They're oxygenating, aromatic, high in antioxidants. They are mood supportive, and that's because they can cross the blood-brain barrier. They promote overall vitality and wellness. And they're also helpful for supporting all body systems: skeletal, muscular, cardiovascular, digestive, endocrine, nervous, respiratory, lymphatic, urinary, reproductive, and so on and so on. So that sounds pretty good to me. So that sounds just fantastic to me. I don't know about you. Essential oils are also living. Just like every living thing, essential oils are also living. Each oil, just like every living thing, carries a scientifically measurable frequency. Now, essential oils have the capacity to raise your body frequency. So the more you're applying oils on yourself and your family, the higher your body frequency and the potential for better overall health increases. So as you can see in this chart, rose has the highest frequency of any oil. It's also one of the most expensive oils that Young Living carries because it's very hard to make. But you can see by using these higher vibration oils, you can actually increase your vitality. So it's important to use them often really to get the best results. Well, it's important to use them often really to get the best results. Now, interesting to note, in comparison, fresh produce like lettuce, kale, apples, that has a frequency of around 15 megahertz. So as you can see, these oils are much more intense and concentrated. Essential oils also carry a very high antioxidant value. Now, many of us have seen the ORAC chart. You see this at grocery stores, and they brag about, goji berries or blueberries or different things having very high ORC value. And basically what that means is it stands for the oxygen radical absorbance capacity. So in other words, this helps to inhibit harm. So in other words, this helps to inhibit those harmful free radicals. Now, essential oils are very powerful antioxidants. To give you an idea of how strong essential oils are in contrast to food, Fernando, let's get rid of that essential oils are very powerful antioxidants, because I already said that earlier. So we're going to end with, they inhibit harmful free radicals, and then we're going to start up here. To give you an idea of how strong essential oils are in contrast to food, hazelnuts contain around 10,000. Clove oil, on the other hand, contains over 1 million. So just as our bodies are constantly changing and adapting to the environment, so are plants. And essential oils adapt to their environment, with the weather, the soil conditions. So this is really a beautiful thing about therapeutic grade essential oils. They are always a bit different. They will vary from batch to batch because they aren't made in a lab, okay? Which I really love, because to me that means they are real and they are effective. Which I love, because that means they are real and effective. And I'll never forget the first time I smelled Young Living's lavender. It did not smell like those scented lavender soaps and lotions and shampoos. And I'll never forget the first time I smelled Young Living's lavender essential oil. And I'll never forget the first time I smelled lavender from essential. Sorry, Fernando, I'm really bombing here. And I'll never forget the first time I smelled Young Living's lavender essential oil. It smelled so different than the lotions and soaps and shampoos that I had used that were lavender flavored. And that's because it was fragrance, it was made in a laboratory. When you get something like this, it's the real deal, it's pure, and there are going to be some variances depending on the crop. Okay, now we're going to go to this slide. I'm going to go back to screen share so you know which one to do. Okay, when choosing essential oils, it's really important to do your homework. And this is part of why essential oils can get a bad rap. I have to be honest, I tried so many different ones. Okay, we're going to start this. I have to be honest. Hold on one second. I have to be honest, I tried so many different ones from Whole Foods and they didn't do anything. I remember using like half a bottle of eucalyptus in my pail when I was cleaning, and I didn't even barely smell it. Or I bought rose oil and it was so diluted. I could barely smell it. It wasn't very therapeutic. So it's very, very important that you know what you're buying. So I'm going to go through the different types that are out there. Okay, back to screen share. Hold on a second. Screen share, here we go. Okay. So there really are four different types. Okay, so I'm going to start this over, Fernando. I'm really sorry. Okay, so I just finished with the antioxidant slide. Now I'm going to do the first chunk of this without the slide. This is just going to be cleaner. Okay, so bear with me here, and we're gonna try this again. Okay, so we just ended with this. Now we're going to go to me talking to the camera, and let's go back. Now, when it comes to selecting essential oils, it's really important to do your homework. And this is part of the reason why now when choosing essential oils, it's really important to do your homework. And this is why some essential oils, hold on one second, I gotta see my notes here. Okay. When choosing essential oils, it's super important to do your homework. And this is part of the reason why sometimes essential oils can get a bad rap. Now, I remember years ago, I'd go to Whole Foods, I picked out eucalyptus and rose essential oil, I brought them home, I started to try to use them, and they didn't work. I literally used like half of the bottle of eucalyptus to try to clean my floors and to breathe it in, and I didn't really notice it. I feel like it didn't do a great job. And then the rose oil, I felt like I kept applying it, reapplying it. I could never really smell it. It was so heavily diluted. It probably wasn't pure. So it's really, really vitally important that you know what you're buying in this area, because essential oils are very popular. There's lots of companies you can choose from out there. So I'm going to go over 4 different types of essential oil. Okay, now we're going to go to that slide. Okay, that will just work better. The first is commercial grade oils. Now these are things like, the first is commercial grade oils. Now these are the type of things that you see in, you know, conventional cleaning products, okay? And it might say orange oil. So that's something that, again, is commercial grade. It's used in cleaning products, and it's definitely not something that you would want to put onto your skin. Then the second type is a fragrance or perfume grade. Now these have added petrochemicals, which is not very cool. That's usually not disclosed, and as you know, or maybe you don't know, the second type are fragrance or perfume grade. Now these actually have added petrochemicals. That's not always disclosed, but it should be, because that can be the second type are fragrance or perfume grade. Now these have added petrochemicals, and that's not always disclosed, but it should be, because they're carcinogenic. Not good. The third type are food or flavoring grade. These might be something you see in peppermint candies or lemon candies, that kind of thing. And then the fourth and the final are therapeutic grade. Now these are safe enough to put on your skin, safe enough to inhale and ingest without harm. Now only 2% of all essential oils produced in the world right now are therapeutic grade. And that is why we are Now only 2% of all essential oils produced in the world right now are therapeutic grade. Now these are oils you cannot find at your local health food store or your grocery store. I tried those many times in the past, like I mentioned, and they didn't work. And sad to say, there really isn't much regulation in the world of essential oils. Bottles can be labeled pure as long as there's only 5% of the actual oil in it. Many of the ones you find at the store, they're cut with other less expensive and neutral smelling oils, and it's really hard to detect if you don't have a trained nose. Also, some other oils might use different distillation. Also, some oils might use different distillation processes, which makes them not as potent. And some essential oil companies actually use solvents. And some essential oil companies will actually use solvents to extract the oil. Okay, so now we're going to go into this, okay? So I actually had a very personal experience with essential oils. Like I mentioned earlier, I tried ones from Whole Foods. Now I actually had a very personal experience with essential oils. Now, I actually had a personal experience with a company called Young Living. Like I mentioned earlier, I tried products from Whole Foods. They didn't work. I went to this physical therapist many years later, and she was using these oils on me, and I will never forget the smells. I'm like, oh my gosh, she would use things like wintergreen and black pepper. Now, I actually have a very personal experience with Young Living essential oils. Like I mentioned earlier, I tried whole food type products. Now, I actually have a very personal experience with Young Living. I went to a massage therapist and she was using these essential oils on me, and now, I have a very personal experience with Young Living. I was seeing a massage therapist and she was using different therapeutic oils on me, and the smells and just the feeling I had after I left her office was amazing. So she used things like black pepper and wintergreen and frankincense and gentle baby, and just amazing and so potent and so therapeutic and so powerful. So that really piqued my interest, and I started researching Young Living and started using their products, and I really fell in love. Now we're going to go to a slide. Young Living is one of the oldest, most trusted essential oil companies in the world. Young Living is one of the oldest, most trusted essential oil company in the world. Young Living is one of the oldest and most trusted essential oil companies in the world. They have over 20 years of research and experience. They are the only essential oil company who owns their own farms, and they have a seed to seal guarantee. And that means from the seed they select to the final seal on their essential oil bottle, you are guaranteed the purest and most potent essential oils. In their farming practices, they use proper species of seeds. They grow everything beyond certified organic standards. There are no pesticides or chemicals used on their farms. They have crews that hand pick the weeds and use their own essential oils, and they use their own essential oils for natural pest deterrents. They harvest at the appropriate time of the year. They distill the right part of the plant. They use low temperature steam without any chemicals to extract the oil. The oils are rigorously tested in-house and also by a third party, and only 28% of oils that are sampled are actually sold. That's how high their quality standards are. Everything is bottled with care and labeled at their warehouse in Spanish Fork, Utah. Finally, the thing I love probably the most about Young Living, though, is they have the greatest selection. They have over 120 essential oils. Okay, we're going to go back to this. Okay. We're going to go back to me. Sorry, we're going to go. And finally, right here, okay? And finally, Young Living. Today is not my day, Fernando. And finally, Young Living has the greatest selection. They have over 120 essential oils, a phenomenal line of other products, and they really make it affordable and accessible. Let's try again. And finally, Young Living has the greatest selection. They have over 120 essential oils, as well as tons of other wonderful products, and they really make it affordable for a new person to get started. In fact, they have this thing called the Premium Starter Kit, and you get over $300 worth of materials for less than. And finally, Young Living really has the greatest selection. They have over 120 essential oils. They have a phenomenal line of other products, and they really make it easy and affordable for a new person to begin. They have this thing called the Premium Starter Kit, and you get over 11 oils, a diffuser. It's really over $300 worth of products for almost half off, so it's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's dive in now on how you actually use essential oils. Okay. This is the slide we're going to use for this. I'm going to make these bigger so it's easier for you to see. Well, there are really three main ways. The first is through direct inhalation. And if you think about it, fragrance is a substance of memories. I know, for example, when I smell lilacs, I instantly think of my grandma. Now, research shows that when inhaling the pure constituents in these oils, they can actually stimulate the olfactory receptors and activate regions in our brain associated with memory, emotion, and state of mind. So in less than a second, a scent has the power to activate these responses. And we don't get this from any other scents. Okay. Now, the easiest way to experience inhalation. Now, the easiest way, and this is really, direct inhalation is really the whole philosophy of aromatherapy, in a nutshell. And now the easiest way to kind of experience this inhalation of oils is through a diffuser. So this is one of the ones that Young Living makes. This is now really the easiest way to experience the oil through direct inhalation is with a diffuser. So this is a Young Living Dewdrop diffuser. And what this machine does, you just put a little bit of water, a couple drops of an essential oil, and then you plug it in, you turn it on, and what it does is it breaks up your essential oil into tiny little molecules that fill the room with this incredible therapeutic aroma. And if you think about it, actually our indoor air quality can be more toxic than our outdoor air quality. And that's because we have things like carpet and mold and mildew and dirt. So this could be a great thing to just cleanse the air. I have some in my kitchen and my kids' bedrooms and my bedroom and bathroom. So they're really wonderful to have around and just super easy to use. Maybe I got to do that again. Okay, let's try that again. Now, the easiest way to experience kind of this direct inhalation is with a diffuser. So this is the dewdrop that Young Living sells, and this is a wonderful little apparatus. You basically put a little water into it, you add a couple drops of your essential oil, so this is lemon, and then you turn the machine on, and what it does is it breaks apart your essential oil into tiny little molecules that fill your room with this incredible therapeutic aroma. And you might not know this, but actually our indoor air quality can be worse than our outdoor air. And that's because we've got carpet and hardwood floors that have chemicals that are treated with them, or dirt, mildew, mold, and it can just create this cocktail of nasty chemicals. So I love having my diffusers in lots of different spots in my house. They're just great cleansers. Another way that we can experience essential oils is through topical application. And again, there's lots of tools you can use when you're doing this. One is something called a roll-on. So really easy, you put some type of carrier oil, and that could be any type of vegetable oil. So it could be apricot, almond, olive, coconut oil, that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm gonna start over. Okay, let's try this one last time. Now, a really easy way to experience direct inhalation is by using a diffuser. These are awesome little appliances that you can get for your house. This is one that Young Living sells called the Dewdrop. And what you do is you add some water to this, you add a couple drops of your essential oil of choice, so I'm using a lemon here, and then you put the machine on, and what it does is it breaks apart your essential oil into tiny little molecules, and it fills your room. Now, the easiest way to experience direct inhalation is by using a diffuser. This is the Dewdrop from Young Living, and what this does is it breaks apart your essential oil into tiny little molecules that fill the room with this incredible and therapeutic aroma. So you just add water, a couple of drops of your favorite essential oil, plug your machine in, turn it on, and you're good to go. And you may not know this, but for some of us, our indoor air quality is actually worse than being outdoors. And that's because we've got carpeting and mold issues and dirt and bacteria and different things. And so it can kind of create this cocktail of just nasty byproducts in our home. So I love having diffusers. I've got a couple in different rooms throughout the house, and they're just great cleansers. The next way we can experience essential oils is through topical application. Now we're going to pause here, go to the screen share. Okay, so because of their molecular structure, essential oils are rapidly absorbed by the skin. When applied topically, it takes 20 minutes for an oil to affect every cell in the body. It's then metabolized within 2.5 hours. Now, it's not really rocket science. You basically apply oils. Are you kidding me? This was not recording.